אז אני רוצה להעביר את המיקרופון ללקס התותח, שמי שעד היום עוד לא הבין את עניין הפרספקטיבה, השקיעות והאופק, מוזמן לתפוס אותו בהפסקה להסבר מפורט, 40 דקות של ראיון מרתק ומרגש עם דייב ווייס הגדול, שמשדר לנו הישר מארצות הברית, ומוביל את חשיפת שקר הכדור בעולם כולו.
Recording in progress.
Hold on one minute, Dave.
Okay.
קודם כל, תודה רבה לכולכם שבאתם, תנו לעצמכם המון מחיאות כפיים. הוועידה השנייה שאנחנו עושים, I'll do this one in English also, Dave, so I'm just saying thank you everyone for coming, and this is, we are 300 people right here. Can we make some noise for David Wadge over here?
Wow. All right. Woo.
So good to have you.
The sound cuts out. I don't hear anything right now.
Yeah. So I'm so glad to see you again, bro. So I want to personally thank you for everything that you do. You do like really great work, and thank you for everything that you do and all the time that you spend and everything. And I think a lot of people appreciate you for this, especially here. But for some people who don't know you, I would like you to do a quick introduction, introduce yourself, and tell us who you are.
My name is David Wadge. I live in the East Coast of the United States, lived here my whole life, and I was working in corporate America, started my own business, and I was doing a conspiracy podcast on the side, just looking into the deceptions of the world, and people started sending me flat earth stuff back in 2014. You got to look into this, and I refused, as most of you probably have the same story. You refused, thought it was stupid, but then for some reason you took a look, and if you use your critical mind, that's probably why you're here right now. And here I am. And now this is what I do full time, because this is the most important message of the world, because the globe is a prison for your mind. And the globe is how they keep us enslaved, and how they keep us fighting with each other, and how they keep us in fear, which is false evidence appearing real, FEAR. And that's it. That's who I am. So I think this is the most, people are like, Dave, why are you always talking about flat earth? There's so many other issues, war and child trafficking and this and that. All of that is based because we're lost space, spinning out of control.
Yeah, so it's the starting of the rabbit hole, right? A lot of people would agree on that. This is like the mother of all conspiracies, and everyone starts their journey. If you start your journey from that point, then everything else just falls like a domino, right?
Yeah, I mean, flat Earth and the old world, our history, those two together unlock everything about who we are, where we are, what this place is.
Nice. So I have a quick challenge for you. You do this a lot. So I thought to give you a quick challenge, but I think you're going to do it it's not going to be such a challenge for you, but I'm going to do it for anyways. How would you explain flat Earth in 3 minutes or less to someone completely new to this, like based on all the conversation that you did?
All right, my answer may or may not be more or less than 3 minutes, but I'm going to give you the answer that you're looking for. People say, what is the best proof of flat Earth? And the answer is every single proof is the best proof. It all depends on the person, because you just need one proof. And if you look at it and think about it and look at it critically, that one proof is all you need. If you have a broken link in a chain, you have a broken chain, right? You don't need 50 broken links. You just need one.
Yeah, like how would you describe it? I mean, like how would you describe it, like visually, for someone if you want to get it like quick in under 3 minutes, if you can?
The world is just how we see it. It's non-rotating, it's non-moving, it's level. Water, the Earth is 70% water. Water measures flat. There's no area on Earth that of water that's contained, at rest, that shows curvature. Now people say, oh, well, we're just a microbe on a basketball. The Earth is too big to see the curvature. But then in the next sentence, they want you to believe that you see boats go over the horizon. But they don't realize that according to the globe math, the size that they tell us it is, there should be 6 feet of curvature just at 3 miles. Well, we can see without aid. With our naked eyes, we can see the surface of the water beyond 3 miles. And if you sit down, it should be like 1.2 miles away, and we can just see things farther. So we can see too far. Then they have to throw in magical refraction. The global argument is, the reason I can see that thing is because it's refracting up and stopping right at eye level, and the different things, the different distances, they're all stopping. Yeah. But the flat earther is, no, we just see it because it's there, right there.
All right, I have an interesting question for you, since you've answered most of this question, and later we're going to talk about your app and how everything works. It's going to be so easy to explain. But you're having a lot of conversation about this subject, whether it's in an interview or a debate. Now, for me as a mentalist and a body language expert, the psychological aspect of this is fascinating, right? It seems like a lot of different people follow the same patterns, right? Reacting almost in the same way, at the same points in time during the conversation. And I'm not talking about the arguments, no, I'm talking about the cognitive path they take as we present the information for them. So what is your take on that, and why do you think this experience, what do you think we see this, like different people react the same way, almost like they've been running through the same program,
Your question is why do people react the way that they react? And if that's your question, the answer, is that your question? Yes? Why do people act the way that they do? Is that your question?
Excuse me again?
Is that your question? Why do people react in the way that they do when they hear?
Let me also translate my question. Yeah, and this is the question. אני שואל אותו, למה אתה חושב שאנשים שונים מגיבים באותו אופן, באותה נקודות בשיחה? מגיבים באותו אופן, מסתגרים באותה נקודה, עונים את אותו הטיעון חזרה, וכו' וכו'. Yeah, so I'm asking why different people follow the same, cognitive pattern. What do you think that is?
Well, we're programmed before we have the cognitive ability to think that the earth is a ball.
הוא אומר שמתכנתים אותנו לפני שאנחנו מתחילים ללכת, שאנחנו חיים על כדור.
Nobody likes having their ball taken away. And if you're programmed that the earth is a globe, from the time you're a baby, your whole world foundation is built around that. And you think this is bad. Well, it's worse when you're a grown person and somebody tries to take your ball away. Your entire life is held around that ball.
הוא בעצם אומר שזה מאוד מאוד קשה לשחרר את זה כילדים, וכמבוגרים זה אפילו יותר קשה לשחרר את הכדור הזה, כי אנחנו כולנו גדלים עליו מגיל קטן. Okay, so how do you experience this deja vu? Because you also talk with a lot of people and everything happens for you the same. How do you take it? And do you have any tips for people who also starting to do conversation with other people and talk about this? When 1 second, let me introduce the question for them also. אני בעצם שואל אותו אם יש לך טיפים לאנשים שרוצים לשפר את ההסברה שלהם, כי אתה מדבר עם המון אנשים, זה מה שהוא עושה כל היום דיבייטים ושיחות עם אנשים. And yeah, so do you have any tips on that?
You're asking if I have any tips on how to break the ice with other people, how to talk about it with new people?
Not exactly, but yeah, you can go from there.
What is the question?
Okay, so the question is, how do you experience this? Like when it happens, it almost automatically feels like it's a deja vu. You feel like you've been in this conversation again. So how can you leverage that in your eyes? Like give us a glimpse to your thought process. Rather this answer, like try to answer from the bottom of your heart. Since you really talk with different people and you see like most of them, I guess that most of them sound the same in a lot of way and react the same way. So from your bottom of your heart, like what do you think is the best approach to them?
I mean, the best approach is, again, that's like saying what's the best flat earth proof? It depends on the person. It depends on what mindset they're coming from. There's different things that will wake up different people. Sometimes it's a Bible verse. Sometimes it's a verse from the Torah.
הוא אומר שצריך בעצם להכיר את הבן אדם ואת הכיוון שלו, אם הוא בא מהטיעון של הכתובים, האם הוא בא מהמקום המדעי, הוא רוצה הוכחות אמפיריות. Yeah, go on.
Sometimes it's a scientific thing. Let me like for this is a very simple one that translates to everybody. Here we have a lake, we have a camera 6 inches off the ice, right? Water at rest lies flat and freezes flat. He put these 4 lights 8 miles, 7 miles, 6 miles, and 5 miles away. And you show this to somebody and you say, that doesn't seem like far, but according to Globe Math, this should be 30 feet below the curve, 22 feet, 15 feet, and 9 feet, but they're all right there. So
אז הוא אומר שגישה
see
אחת
them
זה
because
ברמה
they're
הכי
there.
פשוטה והאמפירית, לבדוק לפי ההוכחות ולפי המדידות, ובהנחה והעולם הוא כדור לפי המידות שנותנים לנו, אפשר פשוט להוכיח דרך זה ולהפריך את זה. And you say this is only one approach. Some people, for some other people...
That's one thing. It's sometimes a little scientific thing like that. Sometimes you tell people that YouTube is hiding all of the real flat earth information, and that gets them.
So let's go to that question, because I also have a question about this. Like, for those of us who are new to this, can you tell, like, really quickly the story of how, this information was once very available on YouTube, and you could actually learn and compare between two models?
Yeah.
I'm talking about, I think it was 2015, 2016, maybe 2017, and from then on... Yeah, so go for it.
Right. So in 2014, when I first started looking into flat earth...
One moment, let me tell them what I said. אני שואל אותו, למי שחדש בזה, תספר את הסיפור של הצנזורה, איך זה התחיל מ-2016, 2017, ואז התוצאות חיפוש התחילו להשתנות, והנושא הזה קיבל רק פרודיות והכחכות, שגם אנשים שרוצים לחקור לא מצליחים. Yeah, go on.
So in 2014, I'd watch a video, and then YouTube would recommend very good videos to follow. And so I was getting great videos. Then in 2017, they realized that this information was spreading too fast, and they changed everything. And all the information is being hidden.
די נגיש, וב-2017 זה כבר התחילו לראות שזה מתפשט כמו אש בשדה קוצים, והתחילו לצנזר את זה.
That's why I created the app, because the app bypasses the algorithm. Now, unfortunately, for those non-English speaking people, the app is mostly in English. But if you go to the flag button right here, right?
זו האפליקציית הסברה שלו, ויש לנו שם דף שהוא עם תכנים בעברית.
We do have a Hebrew section, and there's videos, lots of videos in there.
They're clapping for you now.
How much of your audience doesn't understand a word I'm saying right now?
הוא שואל כמה מהאנשים לא מבינים בכלל מילה שהוא אומר. Not many, most of them understand. Okay, most of them understand.
All right, awesome. That's great. I could barely speak one language. You guys speak two, so that's amazing.
So, my next question. What are your favorite pronouns? No, I'm kidding. No, let's go.
I do have them listed on my LinkedIn if you want to hear.
Okay. Someone asked in the crowd, are you Jewish?
I am.
He is. He's Jewish. Good for you, Dave. So, let me. I have some very interesting questions for you. The first one is: did you try to contact influencers, like controversial ones, like Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, maybe Andrew Tate, Matt Walsh, or any other controversial influencers? אני שואל אותם אם יצאו לפנות לכל מיני משפיענים עולמיים שיש להם הרבה עוקבים והם מאוד מעוררי מחלוקת.
I did have a conversation with Candace Owens.
לא, אני אנסה לקצר, אוקיי? I'm gonna make it short. כן, אני אעשה את זה חולצה. כן, come on.
I did have a conversation with Candace Owens discussing some stuff with her. We had a couple back and forth, but that was it. And then I tried Matt Walsh, but Matt Walsh, he jumped the shark. If you guys know what that means, he went with his moon landing thing. He believes that the moon landing was real. And that's kind of like, if somebody believes the moon landing is real, you can never convince them flat Earth. So you have to get them past the moon landing.
Yeah, it's like a test.
Anyone else you mentioned there, I've tried some, but I haven't. I've been on Alex Jones. I've been on with Roseanne Barr. I've been on with Stu Peters. I don't know if you know who he is. There's a lot of big, a lot of bigger names I've been getting on with. And there's one I can't mention right now that's very, very, very big. That Austin Whitsitt will be going on soon, very soon.
מי כאן מכיר את אוסטין וויטסיט שירים את היד או שימחא כפיים? אוקיי, בוא נעשה את זה הפוך. מי כאן לא מכיר את וויטסיט? תמחאו כפיים. אנחנו צריכים לדבר. Okay, yeah, just ask just for curiosity, how many of them know Witsit? Okay, so
right, good.
he's a great guy.
He's super smart. He makes
super
me
smart, and
yeah.
he's really good at making this information more understandable, which these people I really appreciate for what they do. Also, I appreciate you for this. Let me ask you this: do you think 2024 was a good year for Flat Earth? And,
Amazing year.
And would you share
Amazing.
some highlights, just from your back of the mind?
Well, Flat Earth has been exponentially growing every year. The app just hit over 205,000 people on the Friend Finder.
רבע מיליון אנשים הורידו את האפליקציה כבר.
Yeah. Just so you guys know, I'm doing a major upgrade to the app right now. So, and if you open the Friend Finder, some of you that have the app might notice that the Friend Finder is offline for a couple days. Next week it'll be back. So we're upgrading it. It's going to be better.
זה חלק באפליקציה של למצוא חברים, למצוא שטוחיסטים באזור, גם כשאתם בחופשה, דרך אגב, זה ממש נחמד. אתם רואים שיש בבר ליד, יש איזה כמה שטוחיסטים ששותים בירה עם מפלס וכוס מסביב, שלא... אוקיי, so, just for curiosity, גם אני רוצה לשאול, למי כאן יש את האפליקציה של דייב? תרימו יד או תמחאו כפיים. אוקיי, למי כאן אין את האפליקציה של דייב? Okay, most people here don't have your app yet. We will talk about this later, how beautiful it is. Don't worry about it.
Right. You can just find it at flatearthdave.com. And it's a great resource if you speak English.
Great. You can leave it there for a moment. Some people will take some pictures. All right, so they say there's also the free version and also the
No, there's no free version.
There's no free version.
It's a $3 app.
זה $3 וכל השאר זה חיקויים.
I'll tell you what I'll do. Anybody here that gets the app is $3 one-time charge. And then for some of the higher functions, if you want to chat with other people, do profiles, because there's a whole social media aspect to it. There's an $11 a year subscription. Hold on, wait, before you tell them. Anybody that, if they send you their email, you send me a list of emails, I will give them all a 1-year free subscription.
אוקיי, אם תשלחו את המייל והוא יביא לכם שנה ראשונה חינם. שנה ראשונה או שנה יחידה, אתם לא חייבים להמשיך.
Right.
All right, so I have an interesting question for you. So,
Sure.
So when I talk with people about Flat Earth, I notice that a lot of them, they can't distinguish between theoretical evidence and empirical evidence. Like, for example, they believe that if a formula works on paper, it automatically means that it's empirical and true in the real world. So what are your thoughts on that? Like, really, on a conversational level, what do you think about this?
I mean, the famous quote we have is math is not reality, right? Like if you had $1 million in the bank and I doubled it every day for 3 days, so tomorrow you have 2 million, the next day you have 4 million, and the next day you have 8 million. So now you have $8 million in the bank, right?
Right.
Oh, so you have $8 million in the bank? Can you lend me $1 million?
Not necessarily in reality, yeah, exactly.
Right, not reality. It's just math. They tell us that, we figured out the distance to the sun by Venus transiting the sun, and Venus is about the same size as Earth. And so they looked at the transit times from 2 different viewing locations, did some really good math, and figured out how far the sun was. The problem with the equation was they assumed Venus is the size of Earth, also assuming that Earth is a ball. So there's 2 assumptions in there, so the entire thing is complete and total nonsense. When people look up at the stars and say, well, that star is, 340,000 light years away. How do they know that? You don't know how far anything is, how big anything is. And it's actually, when you look at it, it's provable that the lights we see in the sky are very local, just miles away.
Right. They're clapping for you. So,
I have two points. I know that we have a little language barrier, but I have 2 points that I'd like to point out, which I think are awesome proofs. And we can do that at the end or whenever you want.
This is actually one of the questions that I made for you. Like, what do you think? One or two best proofs flat
All
Earth?
right,
Because
so-
every time
so let's-
you have this conversation, you often say, in this conversation, you can put things in three baskets. You say it's either work only on flat Earth, only on globe Earth, or works in both models, theoretically.
Right.
Right.
And nothing ever goes into the only works on the globe basket. So the question is, how big do the other baskets have to get before you realize, hey, the Earth is flat? So this is not the scale. This is our, the sun is at the center. All the planets are going around. And if we look at the North Star, you guys can see the North Star, right? You're in the north. So this is Earth, and this is our pole, and the North Star is up here somewhere. Is the North Star important to any other planet? And let's say there's people on all of these planets. No, because it's just a star that looks like it's in the same place because we're spinning, and it's the only star that stays stationary, and it really has no significance. That's what they want you to believe, that the North Star has no significance.
I will translate this. I think it's a very interesting point, at least for me. הוא אומר שכוכב הצפון זה באמת הכוכב היחיד שכל הכוכבים חגים סביבו. האמת היא שהוא מסתובב, הוא עושה גם סיבוב קטן, מי שחקר את זה לעומק, הוא עושה סיבוב קטן במקום. והוא אומר, לנו יש המון חשיבות, כי הוא בדיוק בזנית, מעל הקוטב הצפוני של הכדור. אבל לאחרים אין לו שום משמעות. Yeah, go on.
All right, so keeping that in mind, if we look at this planet, its North Star might be over there, and this planet, its North Star might be over here. And so they're all pointing in different directions. So North Stars for each planet have no relevance to any other planet. Okay?
And what do they say?
So-
Do they say like every planet has a North Star?
Well, yeah, but they're saying it doesn't matter because it's just the way the planet is spinning, and that's the one that lines up with their axis. So it has no importance. Here's the question I have. We're told that all of the planets orbit the sun, right? We're told in the heliocentric model, all of the planets circle the sun. The question is, why do all of the planets circle Polaris? All of the planets, that's Polaris, these are the paths of the other planets. They all circle Polaris. Every luminary, the sun, the moon, the stars, the sun, the moon, the planets, and even Halley's Comet, they all circle Polaris.
That's super
You know what the
interesting.
heliocentric message is, the explanation for that is?
זה טיעון חדש, אני לא הכרתי את זה מהפרספקטיבה. They're clapping for
The
you
helio-
now.
Yeah.
This is actually a good new argument.
Yeah, there's no explanation for it. They just ignore it. They won't address
אני
it.
אסביר, כן, אני אסביר. זה למתקדמים, אבל I'm trying to explain them because it's a little bit advanced. אם
Yes.
אנחנו ניקח את התנועות של הכוכבים, can you show me the patterns again, Dave? Go.
Yes.
אם אנחנו נסתכל אם אנחנו נעמוד על הקרקע ונביט למעלה ונצלם בטיימלאפס ונקליט את התנועות של הכוכבים בשמיים, אנחנו נקבל כל מיני תבניות, כל מיני מסלולים. לא כולם עושים את הדבר הזה. יש כאלה שמתקרבים קצת ויוצאים קצת, ובטווח הרחוק, כשעושים את זה בהילוך מהיר, הם עושים פטרנים שהם נראים מאוד מאוד שונה. והוא אומר שלא יכול להיות שכולם, מרקורי וונוס ומאדים ולכולם, הוא אומר, זה לא יכול להיות שגם הם מתייחסים לפולאריס ויוצרים כזו סימטריות עגולה מושלמת סביבו, אם הם סתם פלנטות במרחקים שונים לחלוטין בחלל, ואנחנו, הסיבה היחידה שאנחנו רואים את זה, זה כי אנחנו ממש מתחתיו. ציר, סבבה. מגניב, הבנו? Very interesting argument.
Yeah, it's a good
argument, for this argument, I think it's interesting for this argument, and I think it took time for this argument to develop. For this argument to be created, you have to go to the solar system and again look at their model, and ask questions about what if they are planets, then this doesn't make any sense, right?
And the thing is, they told us 2,000 years ago that we had a different North Star because the Earth is wobbling, right? Our pole is wobbling, right? And so 2,000 years ago, we had a different North Star. So the question is, did all of the planets circle that North Star back then? It makes no sense. And I tell people, this is what happens when we call people that live in the matrix, people that don't think about this stuff. we call them normies, right? They're just normal people. And when you try to explain to somebody that hasn't exercised their God-given brain, they just short circuit. They go, I can't figure that out. I'm not smart enough. I'm stupid. I don't have a degree. And my saying is, you're not stupid. It's stupid. That's why you can't figure it out. Thank you.
Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, people, they give up their authority, their God-given common sense. We were taught, little children are curious and
אנחנו
smart.
מוותרים על הסמכות הפנימית מגיל קטן, גורמים לנו לוותר עליה.
And then they go to school and they're basically they're told, oh, no, everything is not as you're told. You live on a ball. It's spinning. It's in space. And they're God-given
Let me
common
ask you
sense.
this. I have an interesting question for you. I think you're going to like it. So the next point I would like to talk with you about is a subject that is super important. It's truth. Right? So I have two questions for you in regard to truth. Yeah. First one is, how would you define truth? And try to make it simple and bold as you can. The second question is about what you just finished saying. It's some people don't believe they have the capability to figure out the truth, even if they tried, right? So in your opinion, why do they think like that? What would you tell them, and what tips, if you would meet them, what would you tell them? For those people who are telling you, no, Dave, I don't even know what truth means, and I don't even believe I can understand it, even if I would go to that journey. I don't think truth is something people can know. We can only believe in stuff.
That's indoctrination. The thing is, truth is harder than belief.
Let's start with what is truth.
Yeah, truth is the reality of this world. Like, if somebody tells you something, is that truth? Well, it could be, right? But it's belief. Like, where do I live? What country do I live in?
I don't know.
I told you. Come on. I live in America.
On the East Coast. Okay. I don't know. Maybe you're lying. I don't know. Maybe you're lying.
Is that truth, or is that a belief, or do you know it?
You know it. I can only choose to believe.
You can only choose to believe, and so we have to go through life believing lots of things because we don't have time or energy to check all things. But if something you want to know it's truth, you can take the time. God gave you the mind to figure this out. God gave you the ability to discern, right? A child goes out and plays by a pond and sees that the water is laying flat, right? But then he goes to school and the teacher goes, oh, no, you're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour and we're orbiting at 66,000 miles an hour. And the earth is bent and warped. And the kid now has to give up his God-given common sense to believe this is where we live. Right? This is going on when every sense in his body, every God-given sense is telling him, no, I'm stationary. This is not happening. This dilutes God.
This also dilutes you from, it disconnects you from your senses because, the whole idea that flat earth is actually a reversed engineering. Maybe let's talk about this for a second. And later I have some questions from you from the audience. But let's talk about it. The flat earth is actually, either we believe in flat earth or globe earth, we all observe the same things, believing in different explanations, right? We see the stars moving, but the heliocentric model says that they only appear to be moving because we are standing on an object that is spinning around. Just like sitting in a merry-go-round. It looks like the trees are moving, right? So that's what the heliocentric says. So everything that makes the heliocentric model is actually reverse engineering of our observation, right? What's your take on that?
Well, it's also if you want to become rich, invent something that makes people lazier, right? Because people want to find the easiest way. Like if you drop the pencil, if you're sitting at your desk and you drop the pencil on the floor, you're going to find the easiest way to pick it up. It might just be to lean over. It might be grab it with your feet if you're barefoot. It could be, you grab it with something in your hand. But you're always looking for the easiest way to do something. So when they tell you about space and they say, oh, we're spinning and whirling and twirling and this is going on, your brain is looking for an easy way to understand it. And the easiest way is to go, well, this person has a degree. I'm going to defer my authority to this person that memorized and regurgitated better than I did. Okay? So that's what a degree is. If you're able to memorize and regurgitate, then you get a degree. If I wrote a book this thick and I call it the Book of BS, does that translate BS? Right? Okay. And so if I wrote it and then I gave it to all of you and you all studied it and then I tested you on it and 10 of you got 100%, you get a perfect score. Okay? Now you guys get degrees and then you can go teach BS to everybody else. And if anyone questions you, go, I've got a degree. And you point to your degree on the wall and they're like, well, they know they've got a degree. And so that's all that's going on, right?
It's like school a cycle.
It's whoever is the best at memorizing and regurgitating gets to teach the next generation. They're not liars. They're just great order followers.
Good point. תרגום? הוא אומר שבעצם אנחנו מוותרים על הסמכות הפנימית שלנו ברגע שמלמדים אותנו שיש אנשים מסוימים שמבינים יותר טוב מאיתנו, והדרך שבה האנשים האלה מקבלים ומוערכים בחברה, והתעודות והתארים שהם מקבלים, זה מבוסס על יכולות הזיכרון שלהם וההכאה שלהם על עמוד הבחינה ביום החשוב. אני חושב שזה הרבה יותר מעבר, כן? אני מעריך מאוד, יש הרבה אנשים עם תארים מאוד אינטליגנטים, זה יותר מורכב מזה, אבל אני מסכים איתו שבאופן כללי המערכת לא בנויה בצורה כל כך מתגמלת ומדויקת. Okay, so now we're moving to, we got about 8.5 minutes, so we're going to take some questions from the audience. כן, יקירי, אתה הרמת, כן, תקום רק כשאני אראה אותך. זהו, אתה יכול לשבת? תקום. סקווט, מה אכפת לך? סתם, מה שאתה רוצה. אתה מדבר על אריק דוביי? אז מה השאלה בקצרה? בתוך אוקיי. טוב, זאת השאלה, אבל היחידה שאני מעדיף שאני אתמקד בתכלס, אבל זו שאלה חשובה לא פחות, במיוחד היום. So someone asking like, how do you, this is a question you're only going to get from here, I promise you that. So someone asks, חשבתי בהמשך להביא לו את המיקרופון, אבל לא חשוב. Someone asks, how do you tackle anti-Semitism in the flat earth community, inside the flat earth community? Because some of them are a little bit anti-Semitic.
Well, yeah, and you're referring to Eric Dubay, and honestly, I've never spoken to the guy. He hates me because I'm Jewish. Okay, never spoken to the guy. Now,
not even an email? Nothing?
Maybe an email in 2014 or 15 to tell me he hates me. Okay? Right? But here's how I deal with it. The world is filled with everything. Okay? One of the criticisms we get, where do you get your information from? YouTube? Well, guess what? YouTube has everything. It has good stuff, it has bad stuff. And there's good information and bad information. Here's Eric Dubay's book. Now, Eric Dubay may be an anti-Semite, but this is a good book.
Yeah, he does some good.
I look at his good work and I use his good work. I ignore the rest, right? I don't know
you don't focus on the messenger.
I only focus on the good. Use the word vibration. I vibrate at a high level. All of these low vibration nonsense, I don't even see it. Now, is that that's how I deal with it. That's how I deal with it.
אוקיי, שאלה נוספת. אני רוצה אבל שאלה שקשורה ככה ישירות, אם אפשר? Was there a second thing that you... רגע, אני רוצה אבל שאלות מהקהל. תורידו את האפליקציה, אתם תראו שם הכל. כן, יקירי. שנייה, זה עם הלבן, כן? חזק. Why when we are on the equator, we see the path of the sun going like straight down? Above us, yeah. You know, he understands. He's a flat earther, come on.
Yeah, so the star trails are the most fascinating. I actually just did a live stream the other day.
אתם רוצים שהוא ידבר רגע על הכוכבים בדרום ובמשווה? כי זה נושא חם היום. Actually, you know what? Give us a speech about the star trails in the... I know. I will let you...
There's a star trail section right here, and if I click it, it'll bring you to... Oops, let me get this. Oh, I can't show it right now. You can just see it this way. It brings you to all of these videos.
Looks like you're in space.
Yeah, I know. My phone won't flip right now. And these explain the star trails better than I can in this. But if you're talking about the counter rotation in the south, they spin the other direction because you're facing the other way. Right? There's great videos here. It's star rotations in the frequently asked questions page. I just take your time and look at that. But again, looking up at the lights in the sky are no way to measure the floor. If I was coming to put carpeting in your house, I started measuring the lights in your ceiling to figure out where I'm going to put the carpeting. It's kind of silly, right? So we don't know. When you look up at the sky, we try to understand the sky, which is different than understanding the earth.
אתה רוצה שהוא יסביר פרספקטיבה? זאת התשובה, אני מבטיח לך. יש לך פה מישהו שמאוד אוהב פרספקטיבה גם. כן?
למה בעצם חשוב? מה האינטרס של העולם?
מה האינטרס? זו שאלה חדשה. זו פעם ראשונה שאני שומע, זה עוד לא... הפתעת אותי. סתם, אני צוחק. לא, זו שאלה אבל חשובה, זו שאלה חשובה. כולם, יש כאן מישהו שלא שמע את השאלה. Okay, so listen to this, Dave. I think this is also only a question. This is a first timer.
Okay.
אתה חדש פה? אתה, אם היית ישן, היית מה זה נהנה מהבדיחה הזאת עכשיו? אוקיי, טוב. זו שאלה שמלא שואלים אותנו, תהנה מהתהליך. אתה יודע, אני צוחק איתך לא עליך, אני צוחק איתך כי יש פה קל ונאמנים. טוב, so I have a new question for you. I don't think it's something you heard before. Why do you think they are lying? Like what's in it for them?
That's a joke, right? You're joking. The first thing is, it's because, by the way, when you ask that question, that means you're making progress. You're getting there. You're a smart person because, like, why would they lie? You have to have a motive.
He also says that he is new. הוא אומר שאתה בחור חכם, ואני מסכים איתו, כי זאת השאלה הכי אנושית בעולם, זה שאלת רציונל. זה למה. אותנו זה משעשע, ואני עשיתי על זה קצת צחוקים עכשיו, אבל כשחושבים על זה במקור, גם אנחנו שאלנו את זה, בואו נודה. כן, כולנו שאלנו למה, מה יוצא מזה? So I'm going to give you your time. So go for it.
Right. So the reason that they lie is to hide who you are, where you are, what this place is. They're diluting creation, right? If you want to dilute something, you pour it into something bigger, like a glass of milk, you pour it into a bathtub, it's okay. You pour it in a pool, pretty diluted, pour it into the ocean, it's gone. Take God and put it into infinitely expanding space, right? You've diluted creation. And if you take God from a man, then they're more controllable, right? So if you live in the heliocentric world, you have two choices. Nothing exploded and became everything randomly, or God created it, okay? Whatever God you want to believe in, I'm not, this is for everyone in the world. So you have two choices. But if you understand that the earth is created by a creator, then there's no choice for a random explosion. And if everyone knew that the earth was flat, everyone would know there's a creator, and then all the governments would lose control over the people.
So,
And one more thing.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
hiding resources. They're hiding land, I believe. They're hiding free energy. They're hiding all of our potential. And so your mind creates your reality. Your ability to imagine literally creates the reality of this world.
Yeah.
And that's, and so if you have a limited mind, you're limited to this ball. There's nothing else to discover. There's no more. You have limited imagination.
So, thank you so much. They're clapping for you. I want you to try to explain, we only got 4 minutes here, okay? 4 minutes, it's gonna be another challenge for you. Can you try to really explain, really think about the answer, in this moment, whatever comes from you? Can you try to explain for the new people out there, what does this subject shifts in your mind and also spiritually? Because a lot of people say that it changed them spiritually. They still go to work, everything remains the same in a lot of ways, but it changes their experience. So if you can say something about it in 4 minutes.
Yeah, what difference does it make? I still have to go to work on Monday is what everyone says, and I said it. And I had what everyone aspires to. I went through college, went through corporate America, and I had my own company. It was doing very, very well, making lots of money, and then I walked away from it all. So what does it do? I'm embarrassed to say that I was almost an atheist. I didn't know what to believe. I didn't follow anything. I was a non-practicing Jew, and then when I discovered flat Earth, it forced me to understand that there's a creator. And then I started looking in. When I was looking at conspiracies, I'm watching a podcast. If they're talking great information, I'm taking notes, and then all of a sudden they'd mention the Quran, the Bible, the Torah, whatever. I'm like, oh, these are religious fanatics, and I'd throw it away and I'd unsubscribe. But now I find that that's literally the most truth. There's truth in the religion, and lies in science. Science is just scientism. It's the science, which is the scientism, is the biggest religion of all, right? It's just totally faith-based. There's nothing about the heliocentric story that is scientifically based.
Right, and I had the last question for you. There is this guy from Brazil who was a professor, right, in the University of Sao Paulo, and he's a flat earther. He's a geophysicist.
Yeah.
Do you know what's with him, and are you in contact with him? Is he alive?
I don't know. So,
הוא מחפש משהו נראה לי
I don't know which person you're talking about.
It's in your app actually in the question I think it's under scientists and pilots. אחלה אפליקציה דרך אגב מתעדכנת.
There's a lot of information there. But here's three things that Flat Earth has done. People say, what has it done for you? Well,
we have 1 minute left, yeah?
All right. One, more peace, greater sense of freedom, and closer connection to the Creator. Those are the three basic things that it does, right? And it opens up your mind. It teaches you that you have ultimate potential. Real quick, if you go to my website, flatearthdave.com, if you get the app, I'll be right back. Here I am. If you get the app, it's $3. Collect everyone's email. I need a list of emails from you in an email, and I will send you all a free subscription to the app. All right?
תנו לו כפיים, מגיע לו.
Thanks.
All right, Dave, so thank you so much. Thank you for everything that you do, and see you next time, bro.
All right, thanks. See you.
אני הייתי נאמן לטיימר פה. ניסיתי גם לתרגם, עשיתי את מיטב יכולתי. חברים, תודה רבה לכם. תודה לך, הנחית מדהים, אתה עדיין מנחה מדהים. ואם כבר אני פה, אני רוצה גם להגיד עוד פעם תודה רבה למתן גורודיש, האלוף. ולכל ההפקה, נכון, 10 אנשים.
תודה רבה ללקס, המקצוען, ותודה רבה לדייב. כל העולם מתחבר, זה כבר עולמי.